Hey there, hello there. Steph Cutter Historical Diamond again, another Degrassi video. So basically, I'm just going to touch up on a few things. I have made a Reddit post about Emma in season 4 and, the shooting timeline. And was Emma trying to save Rick to save herself because of the bullying and all that? And also about her and Sean. Like, did Emma really know that Sean and Ellie were dating and all that? So basically, you just go on through the Degrassi Reddit and find my post, Kuttergaki, the one post about Emma in season 4, 2 things about Emma. I think that's what it's called. So basically, that's my post. By the way, also on the Degrassi Reddit, they're talking about the best episodes from seasons 1 to 6. Well, they've been done. Season 7's on its way to be ready to go. Obviously, I'm not doing them because I don't know much. Season 1 was Jagged Little Pill when Ashley takes ecstasy to try to get back with Jimmy. And the funny thing about season 2 is that, you have the season 1 season finale, and then you have the season 2 season premiere being the best episode. That was when we saw Craig, when we hear about Craig. Season 3, I'm not completely sure. I forgot what it was. Hang on one tick here. I know I wrote it down. Sometimes you forget these things, Here we go. Okay, so, yeah, was Pride when we find out Marco coming out of the closet to his friends and all that. Of course, Spinner doesn't take it quite well, but, Spinner with time, when doves cry, that was when we saw Craig and his bizarre behavior and all that. Season 4 is Time Stands Still. Well, obviously season 4, that was an easy one. Season 5 is Our Lips Are Sealed when Emma basically has issues. She can't get control of her life because even though she did the right thing by telling on Snake to spike about Snake's treast with Natasha Lackos, she feels so hatred, and people are putting their trust in Emma, and Emma is falling flat. And then of course she got outed for being with Peter. And season 6 is Rock This Town. That was when JT unfortunately got stabbed. There is a JT video. If you look at Cutter Historical and you look at the Degrassi playlist I did, there is something about JT York. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job about that. So anyway, getting back to the main issue here. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I don't really have a lot to talk about Degrassi shooting and all that. I usually do, like a thing a month, but that's okay. So anyway, last month, if you recall, I did the top 10 Degrassi Next Generation storylines of all time. And I forgot what the order is. I know the storyline about JT being stabbed was second and Time Stands Still, the Degrassi shooting is number 1 because that's what I pay a lot of attention to. So anyway, next on the list, and I did promise this, I did the top 10 storylines from season 8 onwards. But I also came across a hitch today. Basically what happens is that when I did the top 3 plotlines Reddit post, people actually said to me, oh, what about seasons 8 to 14? Because 8 to 14 is actually technically the second iteration of Degrassi, like, Lakers people, all that, and other people. And then we had Degrassi Next Class because there was a big list of people graduating and all that. Now, I am aware of Degrassi Next Class, and there are 3 storylines that basically jump out at me. So I'm going to tell you the 3 storylines from Next Class that jumped out at me. First of all, like I go from 3 to 1. Oh no, there's 4 of them. Okay, well, anyway, season 16, 17, 18, the final 3 seasons of Degrassi Next Class was a story. There was a big storyline in each one. Season 16 or the second season of Next Class, if you will, was known for Frankie's attempt to try to laugh off a rival volleyball team, but I think it was Northern Tech or something. And I think Northern Tech was the school that was the opponent to the Wacky Brain team in season 4. Never supposed to be right. But anyway, Frankie makes this weird poster with Sioux animals and unfortunately a couple of gorillas. And unfortunately, most of the players on the volleyball team are black, and about the stereotype and all that. So Frankie tries her best to try to remedy the situation, especially with Shay and all that. Frankie gets kicked off the volleyball team and all that. I believe, that was the same season in which we had the bus crash, if memory serves me correctly. So anyway, it was strange. I know Not a Vampire did a video about Frankie, was she being racist? I think Frankie was not really racist, but her apologies were terrible. Like, she tried to explain herself, but it all fell on deaf ears. And you know, the Shay and Frankie from went hard in season 16, or the second year next class, because of the famous Throwback Thursday episodes, when we saw a lot of former Degrassi people come by, like Emma, Liberty, Mo, a few other people. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, they did the Black Lives Matter thing and all that. And, you know, the school was upset because Tiny got suspended for trying to defend Shay in that, and they thought that Tiny's suspension was terrible and racially motivated. They got Principal Simpson to basically say, you know, let's talk about it and all that. Season 17 was, of course, you know, Bus Crash, which had Tristan in the hospital and getting an equivalent of high school diploma because, you know, he was in rehab and all that. But in season 17, we had a problem. There were a couple of problems. But anyway, Maya's suicidal thoughts. Maya, unfortunately, had been in the bus crash and all that. And for some strange reason, she liked the thought of death. Well, the reason why she kind of probably thought of that will be in the top 10 Degrassi season 8 to 14 storylines, if you will. That's the title of this show, of course. But anyway, Maya, you know, deals with Syed, S-A-A-D, and finds out that he has death on his brain and all that, and she likes Endgame and all that. Despite her family trying to help her out, Maya decides to commit suicide on the roof. No, sorry. She was actually on the bus. She was on a bus with taking a lot of pills and putting headphones on, and hopefully she was going to die. But unfortunately that failed, and then she decided to go jump off the roof of the school. But thankfully a couple of people, such as Esme, saved her butts. And Maya had to go through psychiatrists and all that. And I know that episode was controversial because of what Tristan said at the end, saying he wants to go for pizza. But he came out of a coma. I mean, what else would he have thought? And then in season 18, which is the last season of Degrassi, we had a couple of things. Zoe being disowned was one of them. Basically, Zoe being a star and all that, and she tried to grip with her sexuality. She finally decides to come out of the closet. But her mom basically does not want to do that. I'll explain more into the problem with Zoe's mom in one of the season episodes, like from 8 to 14. Actually, truth be told, I forgot to rank them. So, anyway, yeah, I think I can do a ranking off the top of my head. There are no honorable mentions from season 8 to 14. So anyway, Zoe gets its own. Most of it was basically because Zoe's mom actually had her as a cash cow, if you will. So logically, her mom's upset. And, as I will say, in one of the storylines from season 10, I'll explain more about Zoe's mom's problems. And then you got Esme, who unfortunately went beyond the rails. She was fine. She was actually doing fine. She was known for her knitted sweaters, her braided hair, being Korean, and, you know, she saved Aunt Maya's life because, you know, she saw her mom kill herself at age 10. Well, when she was 10, when Esme was 10. But then, all of a sudden, Esme was upset at Maya, trying to bring down Maya's character, mostly because Esme thought that by being a hero, she would get acclamation. That didn't work. They all turned to Maya and try to help her out. Esme is pissed off. Esme goes off the rails. She goes into a love triangle with Sig and Frankie for some fucking reason. Pardon my language, but unfortunately, Esme went down the rails, especially with calling a bomb threat at the prom, which was outside, if memory serves me right. And Esme trying to get at Sig. I mean, she was upset that Sig was going with Maya. But what Esme did not know is that Maya was trying her best to try to get Sig to help Esme. Maya felt guilty about being with Sig, and Esme didn't see that. And Esme, unfortunately, missed a month of school, which cost her dearly and made sure she didn't graduate. She had a breakdown, and one of the counselors said, Esme, it's not too late to admit you need help. And she gets the help she wanted. And of course, you know, we get the famous okay, thanks, bye. Montage of Tristan getting his diploma, Winston and Miles going to Paris and all that. Maya being with Sadie and going to California for her thing. We actually, one scene I had was somebody visiting someone in the hospital, and I thought it was Esme. But no, that picture was of Grace getting her lungs because of her cystic fibrosis. Or no, yeah, that's right. CP is to do with legs. I remember. I know someone with CP. So anyway, hopefully I do a top 10 without much malice. But anyway, from season 8 to 14, here is the top 10. And the rule is that all 7 seasons, 8 to 14, will have somewhere from 1 to 7. So basically, there's a backup storyline. Those will have to be 10, 9, and 8 by rule. Number 10 is Connor's Asperger's syndrome thing, and then the fact of the matter of one Shep. Now, if you remember in Next Generation, season 7, Lakehurst and Degrassi had to merge because Lakehurst had their school burned down, and there were a lot of people. Now, one thing I did say in my Degrassi Principles video was that I thought the Shep was at Degrassi, and then he would get the keys to the school, so to speak, when Hatzelackles left for Saskatchewan. That's false. He did not appear in season 7 of Next Generation. So basically, he was there in season 8. So basically, what was wrong with Shep was that he was hoping to make a Lakehurst clone in Degrassi. And he even had conflicts with former Lakehurst people like Sav, who was upset that Holly J was named school president, probably by popularity. So anyway, Connor's Asperger's thing is kind of this, because we got to meet Connor, Claire, Ollie, and Casey in the start of season 8. I believe this was when CTV lost control of Degrassi to Munch Music. But of course, this is a Canadian list, so obviously you probably know. If you're American, you don't probably know what I mean. But anyway, so I digress. Connor was acting out and all that. The Shep wanted to kick him out of Degrassi. He was violent and rude. Now, Connor is actually Snake's godson. So basically, that's why Connor was living with Snake and Spike at the time. And practically, Connor was a cape and then finally diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Now, one thing you probably don't know about me is legitimately I have Asperger's syndrome. I was 20 years old in 2005, and in my first year of Conestoga College for computer programming. That's a college in Kitchener, where I live. So practically, I was told that my Asperger's syndrome was basically why I had troubles with friends, why I acted so weird and all that. Yeah. So legitimately, it's social autism. I know there's different ways of diagnosing autism, but it's a social problem with me. And legitimately, I do have social problems. I don't do well with social cues and all that. I am trying, but it's just not working sometimes. I know there's a nice article saying why having Asperger's is terrible for people day by day and all that. I make good days and my bad days. But anyway, so Connor gets the attention of Claire and Allie and Casey, mostly because the Shep was going to get his award for Teacher of the Year. Why? I have no fucking clue. I mean, geez. Probably because they had a football team. And I'm thinking about the last year. I guess maybe they give you the Hatzelackles for Principal of the Year, but Hatzelackles is in Saskatchewan. So anyway, the gifted class, as you will, the 4 horse people of the apocalypse, made a video and did not leave out Shep basically making fun of people. And that made the school board. They couldn't fire him, but they forced him into a 2-month training session about diversity, and Snake was principal. Unfortunately, although the Shep did okay, the students didn't have confidence, and Shep was shipped out by season 9. So yeah. Number 9 is Zoe's trial. Now, of course, this is good, but there's 3 seasons. I have 2 of them, and the one I chose for season 13 is way bigger than Zoe's trial. Now, basically, Zoe was baked at a party by a couple of boys. One of them was Luke, who was Becky's brother. Unfortunately for Becky, her family wanted her to drop the allegations. but Becky didn't waver. Now, if you know, the actress who played Becky's mom is actually a veteran actor in Canada by the name of Tara Spencer-Nairn, who was on Portergas as Constable Karen Pelly and a few other shows. I don't know what she was in. But anyway, so basically she was trying her best to try to get Becky to protect Luke and all that. It sickens me why Luke is being protected and all that. So anyway, Luke is found guilty. Luke tries to tell Becky that, I took a bullet for you when you lost our grandmother's ring down the sink. But Becky then tells Luke that the next day she actually confessed to everything. Basically, her Christian values, like, admitting when you're wrong and all that. And, of course, Luke goes to prison. Becky gets persona non grata. Her family didn't like it. I don't understand their family. I know that the dad's a minister and all that. And I don't understand it. The Christian thing to do would be to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. And, I mean, Becky could have. Well, Becky did one thing right in their mind. Becky could have told on her mom, and her mom probably would have got charged with a misdemeanor, if you will. And so he never recovered from the trial, basically being gay and all that. Number 8 is Fiona's alcoholism. Now, Fiona was brought in, I believe, in season 8 or 9 with Declan, her twin. Basically, she was a daughter of a diplomat. But unfortunately, Fiona had issues with alcoholism and an abusive boyfriend named Bobby. Unfortunately for Fiona, actually, I should have made Fiona's alcoholism number 9 and then Zoe's trial. But too little, too late. So anyway, Fiona's alcoholism was terrible. Basically, Bobby and his crew probably knew that if Fiona got drunk, then Fiona cannot function, and basically no one will tolerate Fiona. And you're right, Fiona did get help, but that's not good. Number 7 is Claire's cancer. Now, I put this in season 11 because technically season 11 didn't have anything I liked. So I made Claire's cancer thing. I know Claire's cancer was in season 13, if memory serves me right, that she knew she had that lump on her back. But anyway, it tested positive for cancer. She had to go through chemo and all that, and she got pregnant. Unfortunately, like a common misconception, I think, is that women with cancer can't really carry a baby full term. I think that's false, or a low percentage. But anyway, Claire's cancer. Claire got pregnant by Drew. She lost the baby, and then that's when she went off the rails in a season 14 thing I will tell about. I'll be honest with you, it's going to be hard to go numbers-wise. But anyway, here's a good one. Number 6 is Jane's molestation storyline. The best of season 8 was Jane's molestation thing. Now, Jane was part of the problem with Shep in the first place, because Shep refused to have Jane do anything on the football team. But, thankfully enough, she got on the team. But unfortunately, she got hazed by a lot of her fellow football players, and Shep took a blind eye to this. So anyway, Jane had issues. Now, this was just after the Shep got back from his service, quote unquote, and basically says that we're going to have an alumni football game. And then Jane is worried about it because, her brother was Lucas, and Jane did change her name. I think some Italian last name, I forget, but it's now Jane Fawn. But anyway, Jane and Spinner had drama in the relationship, but that's not part of it. So anyway, Jane had weird dreams at night, and then she finally comes to the realization that her father would perform sexual acts on her when she was asleep. And Lucas didn't do a damn thing. But Lucas finally stands up to to his father. Now, I'm probably wrong, but Lucas probably was bribed by his dad. Basically, his dad saying that, you know what happened, but don't say anything, and then I'll make sure your life is good. Because, Lucas didn't really have a bond with Isabella, his daughter. Well, Lucas was with Mia at the time. So anyway, I think by Lucas finally standing up to his dad, that he's basically saying that you're not getting away with this no matter what. And he protects Jane. And that is, unfortunately, the last time we see Lucas. I thought Lucas would have changed. did I say? Number 5, right? I think it's number 5. Yeah, number 5 is Allie's family dynamic from season 10. Now, Allie was a bright girl who I think went to Cambridge at the end of season 14. That was when, everything ended. So anyway, no, sorry. Yeah, that is number 5. Yeah, that is number 5 because I got the 4 other ones. But anyway, Allie's family dynamic was terrible and all that. Basically, her parents refused to let her do certain stuff. All that. Allie got in trouble. She got kicked out of Degrassi. No, her parents pulled out of Degrassi into a boarding school, and she got suspended for that, even though that it wasn't her fault. She was being framed for it, but her parents refused to listen. Allie decides to run away because she knows her family basically puts high expectations on her. Now, it's safe to say that there is a main reason why, and I know that it's going to be hard to describe without getting myself in trouble, but I'll just say this. It's a cultural thing. If you know Allie and Sav's family and their backgrounds and how those parents probably wanted the old fear, the old time thing, and not wanted to be modernized. That it is a hard thing to do with a family dynamic. Because I remember in Degrassi Junior High that Bola was basically being pushed around by her parents, basically saying that you can't do this. You have to do the old school theory. Like Marco's dad not accepting Marco's homosexuality, that was a cultural thing. And Zoe's mom not listening to Zoe's thing. I think mostly because Zoe's mom wanted her to be a cash cow. Cash cow. And if you know Zoe's background and the religion and all that, and how they hate homosexuals, you can understand that. But anyway, Sav finally realizes that, although Sav got the better end of the double standard, Sav finally stands up to his parents. And thankfully, Allie is, found safe. She actually hiked out in Johnny DeMarco's college dorm. And Johnny said that you can't run away from your problems because, remember, Johnny was the guy who actually was with Drake Lampley, the redhead who stabbed JT in season 6. So, yeah, I saw my best friend stab somebody who really didn't deserve it because of Lakers Degrassi feud. So yeah, but thankfully the family got better, but I don't think it was 100%. Number 4 is Emma at college. Now I know that I shouldn't really bring Degrassi Next Generation stuff into the Degrassi season 8 to 14 list, but you got to remember this: that Emma, Liberty, and Manny were actually in the first few seasons of the new thing. They decided to put the Next Generation people in college. They followed some people in college like Paige and Marco and Ellie, but why not the big 3, if you will? They didn't really follow Toby because Toby wasn't really involved. But anyway, Emma, Manny, and Liberty all went to Smithdale, if memory serves me right. Or is it Banting? No, Smithdale, because that was the acting thing where Manny is. Basically, Emma wanted to have the dynamic of Liberty and Manny, her best friends, and all that. She got them the same room, which technically should not have done. And then Emma finds Kelly, a boy who shares her views on environmentalism. And unfortunately, Emma nearly gets herself in trouble when there's the pot brownies. Kelly takes the fall for Emma, knowing that Emma risks expulsion. So anyway, Emma is with Kelly, and near the end of season 9, they're working on a bicycle project, but Kelly's dad tells Kelly that he's disappointed that Kelly is wasting his time with a project that won't probably get him paid, won't pay him the bills. It's not all the fact that, he was upset because Emma was being rude and being in charge and all that. Some people just can't understand why the woman should be in charge of a relationship. But of course, this is 2019 where it's more rampant, whereas 2009 it wasn't. So anyway, Kelly decides to take a job at his dad's firm, leaving Emma high and dry. Emma, unfortunately, doesn't take the news well, basically saying that he's being brainwashed by his dad. That's what she thinks. Unfortunately, Emma falls flat. She's supposed to give a presentation at Degrassi, but she realizes that she's falling flat at school with schoolwork because she's spending time making friends, because that's one of Emma's character flaws, is the fact that she's trying to keep friendships alive. She did a terrible job with May, off and on, off and on, and off and on. And season 4, when she tried to save her own ego from a Chris breakup, and it cost her Liberty and Manny, and which probably cost her a support system for the shooting timeline, and let Emma easily into Paige's clique and easily a target for Rick, even though Emma was trying to do the right thing. So practically, Emma hooks up with Spinner in a big random one-off, and we all got Emma and Sean for Endgame. Nope. Number 3 is the Degrassi News/Pill conundrum. Now, of course, 1 and 2 has to do with death, so that was an easy pick. So anyway, Degrassi News was when they're trying to raise money for new cheerleader outfits, and they decided to post some nice pictures of themselves. Unfortunately, a little graphic, and they get men to pay the money and all that. Unfortunately, that really worked out. I know Winston was trying to out people without being caught and all that. It did tick me off that Winston got off scot-free, because Winston should have been in trouble for his blackmail and all that. But anyway, in the course of it, it was terrible. Simpson's credibility was stunned. Zoe and Lola were trying to blame each other. And, Frankie, they all blamed Frankie because Frankie, was booted off the Power Squad. Or Spirit Squad. Yes, Spirit Squad. And basically, that they thought that Frankie was just being, jealous and all that. Trying to get them back. But it wasn't. It was Zoe. Unfortunately, Degrassi News spelled the end for Simpson as principal and brought Deidre Pill, who was actually Tiny's aunt. Now, the thing is that she did do a few things that make sense. Like, she punished Zoe for her role in Degrassi News, basically making her do mundane school cafeteria stuff in exchange for Zoe not going to prison for 5 years. And basically Zoe saying, "Can't you think of anything? Don't you have anything else better to do?" I said, "Nope." She did the no cell phones and the no backpack policy, which is fine. I mean, I can see that. But 2 of her biggest problems were her 2 other policies. The cameras in the hallway. I mean, okay, cameras in the hallway, fine. But she used it for evil. She was trying to make sure that the students were happy with her and was hoping to not get any backlash on her. And she wanted to know everything and try to become a good principal. Now, that could possibly be a Radich thing. Because you know how Radich basically was punitive and all that. And basically his 1980s style disciplinary thing did not work well in the 2000s. So basically he was bad. And of course, that was one of the reasons why he was booted. The next video will be top 5 things Radich should or should not have done to deal with the Degrassi shooting. And of course, I did a Rick one, if you look at that playlist I did. And FYI, I'm probably going to do 1 on Rick, 5 things about Spinner, Jay, and Alex, and then 5 on other characters who I did not tackle. I could do Emma, but I don't know if I can find 5 for Emma. But regardless, back to the way it's supposed to be. He'll do the cameras and basically trying to help Claire out, but Claire was upset that she would do that. So Claire breaks every camera. Hill decides to cut Claire out of school council president and deals with Connor because she knows that Connor will probably not be vindictive and will not fight her. It could be a race thing, I don't know. But anyway, but the worst policy is the no affection policy. It just doesn't make sense. How does affection lead to problems at Degrassi? But the problem is that the no affection policy screwed Drew up. Drew made a proposal to Becky. That's a prom and a proposal. Now, if you look at the last episode, Connor made a proposal to, wasn't Becky, it was, what is her name? Jenna, that's it. Jenna. He did it off school grounds. I think that was cool. But anyway, Drew was told, you're not going to the prom. So Drew actually took it in stride, but Drew's mom actually says that you're a student council president. You should be at the prom, and you should be helping people out. Would you rather stay here with me? I think she kind of had a hunch that she was just trying to go Drew into things. But anyway, regardless, Drew decides to hold the prom at the school because of a boat thing, and they screwed up. People screwed up the year. So anyway, Drew does well, but Hill is upset that Drew basically used his power to get into the school. She tells Drew, you can graduate, however, you're going to have to sit on the sidelines and wait. Now, it's unknown if she actually knew that Drew's mom was a school board trustee and all that. That might have played a big role. But anyway, she tells him, I've got a lot to do with the school, and I'm not going to I have to let the new guys know that there's a sheriff in town. So the students hear this, and then they do the graduate class saying, we love Drew, and Hill relents saying that there's one thing I know about the school, they care for each other. But of course, Drew's mom kind of had a hunch, and I think she knew that Drew was not telling a lie. So she probably was just there until Simpson was cleared of everything, and then Simpson was just being oblivious to the fact. Or it could have been because of what happened. And I think Drew's mom probably said something. It might not have mattered in the long run, but, that was terrible. Number 2 is Adam's death. Yes, we all know Adam as a transgender character, which was groundbreaking, and it ended too short. In season 10, we got to know Adam and all that, about being transgender and all that. He was a girl who wanted to be a boy, and all that. He found a lot of people accepting of him. Not too many people hating on transgender people, so that's good. But unfortunately, Adam's biggest problem was that he was texting and driving Becky. He had a relationship with Becky and I think Marisol, or something like that, or Katie. Was it Katie and Marisol? No, it was Katie and Marisol, and Becky. Well, of course, Becky's parents weren't really too pleased with Adam and Becky because Adam being transgendered in the Christian crap that happens. So anyway, Adam gets in trouble for texting and driving and crashes head on into a tree. Goodbye, he's gone, and a lot of people in the school were just upset by him. By his death. And it could have been groundbreaking, to say the least. And number 1, no doubt about this. It is Cam's depression from season 12. Yeah, Adam's death was season 13, by the way. I don't think I caught that. And then my college was season 8/9, but I put season 9. So anyway, Cam was this nice hockey player who came to Degrassi because the Ice Hounds were playing. He was fine. But unfortunately, a couple of his teammates, including Dallas, were upset with him and insulting him. Cam had trouble getting away from his family and all that. Like, you're at a school away from your family and you're playing hockey and all that. Who knows? I don't think Cam's parents put pressure on him to be a hockey player, but a lot of people put pressure on Cam. Mostly because of his puppy dog, trans with Maya. Unfortunately, Sig tells Cam to F off. Well, that's how I say it. And unfortunately, Cam off-screen kills himself. And Eli has to see it happen. And that happens in the J.T. York Memorial Garden. Unfortunately, Cam's death had an impact on people. Sig actually broke down and said that he wishes that he had been nicer to Cam. But the French teacher said, it's not your fault. It was messed up and all that. Dallas had a breakdown because he should have been more accepting of Cam. Fiona calms him down. And then basically, the school was upset. Maya at Cam's memorial actually didn't really say much. She probably was thinking that the suicide was a selfish act and all of that. But what we get with Maya, and I know I'm going to probably be doing a video on Maya being one of the most hated characters for a stupid reason, but anyway, I'll give you crib notes. I don't want to go too far into it. But practically, she feels bad about Cam and all that. She dresses promiscuously. She's basically trying to change her image. She still can't bring herself to deleting Cam's picture off her phone, even though that it's all that. But anyway, Maya falls with Sig, which is strange. Why would Maya be with Sig, even though Sig kind of caused Cam's death? But it's mostly to do with helping Sig out. And that was one fatal flaw with Maya, was that she was trying to help a lot of people, but she couldn't help herself. Basically, a police officer had to set her straight, basically saying that Maya shouldn't put herself in harm's way for people if she can't help herself. The big problem was that she had a storyline with Miles, and Miles was upset that Maya was checking up on him every so freaking often. He took himself off social media, and Maya instantly thought that Miles wanted to kill himself. So she went in the middle of the night to his house and found him alive. But yeah, poor Maya. So anyway, that's about it. That's all I've got for this thing. So yeah, those were 10 top storylines, and then I also talked about some storylines in the next class thing that I didn't really follow too much about. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget, the next few videos will be top 5 reasons about some characters and this Degrassi shooting timeline. See you later.